Hi everyone. This is going to be a quick word, right? I don't even have eye makeup on because I was just, in case I cried today. That's how it was. It was rough going last night. And so I'm a psychologist, right? In my day job. And I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening because I see all of life like a spiritual awakening. My name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer. All right, that's all done. Let's get into so much was coming to me. Let's start with what was just said, is just this idea, blessed are the pure in heart. Jesus said this, right? And Jesus is always teaching us higher consciousness. He's always teaching us the highest and best way to live in love, and to die to our egotism and go back to the unity. If you understand it as duality and unity, that's fine. I always say I welcome everybody because I have this understanding that we were all made in the image and likeness of God. And so we all came from that God spark, And so I was reading this book from Teresa of Avila, Saint Teresa de Avila. Anyway, she was made a doctor by the church, by the Catholic Church, made her a doctor. So, and she didn't even think what she was writing was so profound because she was just living it. She lived as this mystic that had this deep experience of God. That's why I was going to start with her, but then I got, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Like, we have this longing, whether it's dormant, asleep or awake, to have union with God, to go back to the oneness from which we came. I've had all of these amazing mystic experiences where, one of them, I was doing this exercise. I was in this class. It was a survival class, but they taught us all these spiritual things. And I don't know how much of it I was, I had to keep praying and discerning. Am I supposed to take part of this, or am I meant to be here? Anyway, I'm just checking if I ought to share it, and always check everything that you hear from other people, whether it's for you or not, Ask God, ask for discernment, ask for wisdom. I share it so that we understand. It's like I had an experience. I'll be general about it. I had an experience where I felt like I was in this oneness. I had another prayer experience that was like this too. I felt like, Jesus says, seek first the kingdom of God, and the kingdom of God is within you. And I had this experience where I felt like I was in this oneness with God, and it felt like you're almost like in the sun. And when I had to leave to come back, sometimes we're like this when we're wrapped up in prayer, we're surrendered to everything, to divine love, or you're hearing a song and you just feel all the love, or you fall in love with someone and you feel all the love for the moment. And then, it gives you that same experience, and you think that person is going to keep bringing you that love, but the love is just flowing through that person in the moment. It just shut your mind down in the moment. And so we're not meant to live just bound by our minds and hooked into that. That's why highs are so appealing for people. People go to TV or to whatever else they go to, all of us can go to something that's going to give us an immediate sense of the unity that we knew. That's just, and it promises, this is what's in Teresa of Avila's book called The Interior Castle. And she says these things promise they're going to give you eternal happiness, and they do not give you eternal happiness. And she says, what do you want? She's basically saying in Spanish, I'm not translating exactly, but she's like, what do you want God to do here? What do you think he is, right? That he's just going to give us our whims because we say, hey, if you just give us these temporal things, like make that guy love me the correct way, or my parents love me the correct way, or my job pay me what I'm due, so that then if you give me these temporal things, then I think it'll be an easier road for me to go on this eternal path where I let my heart be purified. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. You'll see God. Like, and okay, so I'm intertwining these two, right? If we have this longing for union, for oneness with God, for back to nirvana, or back to, with God, with the divine love, which out we came from, you know, into this world, then it's like Jesus is giving us a clue. He said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they see God. When you have a pure heart, when you have a heart that you're continuously surrendering to God through the ups and the downs, and the times when you feel really comforted by God, and the times you're sitting there in the desert going, really? Really? This is what you're giving me? You're giving me this loneliness? You're giving me, take away everything that I was clinging to before that wasn't making me happy, right? But it's like, where's the consolation? Where's the consoling? Where's the love? Where's that great feeling I had before? You know, but God doesn't want to make us a crack addict. That's what I say, you know, sometimes to my clients, he doesn't want to make us an addict. And so God is always there. I have this bracelet on. I'll show you. It says, I am with you always. Lo, I am with you always, right? And I wear it to remind myself. And I wear this, you know, to remind myself. He's always in the love. The love is always there, even if we don't see it in the moment, because he doesn't want us to be addicted to that feeling. He wants us to learn how to trust. When I let go of going to my highs, something that's going to make me feel like, oh, I got my doctorate. Oh, I wrote a book. Oh, I'm going to go tell people I wrote 3 books or whatever, you know, and it's like, so I get a temporary bunch of people like a post or something. But instead of just sitting in the silence and going, God, are you still there? Do you love me with that real love, you know? The real love that doesn't go away, that peace that passes all understanding. You love me with that, right? Because I come to you in my brokenness and all the things that I can't get right, I haven't gotten right, or that my parents told me I did wrong, that I'm wanting to do right, that, you know, you keep teaching me how to do it right, you know? And you keep purifying my heart and like putting that fire under me that burns it and makes me purified and pulls out the weeds, even though I'm like, no, I wanted that weed. I wanted that. Oh, that's funny. I didn't mean it like that. that wasn't a, you know, advice for me, you know, but it's like, but we hold on to our own, you know. I wanted that sense of security of telling everybody, oh, I'm a doctor, you know, like I've never really rested in that, but still, you know, whatever it is, you know, I lost 1 subscriber the other day and I was just like, what, did I do something? And then God's like, dude, you need to be so much more detached than that. Not need to, like God is working in me. And it's just like, don't let that, you know, you want feedback and you want to understand, am I connecting? Am I holding the camera steady so that, you know, you guys don't get, I get motion sickness with a camera that goes all over, you know, just do your best and forget the rest, you know, and then, yeah, let go. Like you're not in control of that. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. But Teresa of Avila is saying, like, look, Avila, she's like, if you're building your house on the sand, like, don't get mad that God strips all the foundation back down and goes, hey, like, let's build this thing on the rock. Let's build it on something stronger than what you had. Because when the rain comes and when the storm comes, if you don't have your house built on the rock, then what's it worth? Just because, you know, you built up a temporary house that looks flashy, you know, or it looks like, you know, I know people that have bought like 40,000 people to like their page. And it's just like, what does that give you? You know, because that's a temptation, but it's like, no, I want this to be organic. There's a verse that says God is the one that promotes, right? That's just an example. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter in the bigger picture. It's just an example of how we can all get hooked in to some insecurity instead of going, no, I want a pure heart. And I want to be like what St. Teresa of Avila was saying. It's just like, all right, you know, yes, this is my wish, you know. And I was seeing it clearly because 2 things, right? One is because my kids, there was something I was like, why won't they yield? Why can't they see I'm the mom, that I've seen this a lot longer than they have, and da 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 da. And then I was like, oh, God's been here a lot longer than I have. Why don't I yield to God's blueprint, to the divine blueprint, to, you know. And it's like I hear people say, well, I just want to have fun, you know, and God's no fun. Like, well, regardless of if God is fun, it's divine love. Like, divine love, it's always going to be, you know, blessed are those who yield to that. When we yield to that, it's going to be just so much more depth and beauty and peace, the peace that passes all understanding, than a temporary fun that leaves us brokenhearted and looking again and telling ourselves, what good does it do us if we tell ourselves that the answer is out there when the answer is not in there? Out there. It's not out there. It's in here. It is in here. I wish you so much love. Like, share, and comment if you'd like. And say whatever you'd like me to talk about. Much love.